when we experience the larger consciousness system through astral projection or an OBE, whatever term the listeners prefer, you mentioned that our consciousness is already out of body, so we really don't need to leave in order to get out. Can you talk about how you came to this conclusion?
You know, we talk about out of body. That means that we're starting with ourselves as a body. Okay, the body is primary. That concept has this kind of assumption, the implicit assumption behind it, that the body is fundamental and that the consciousness somehow kind of lives in the body. And we want to get the consciousness out of the body to go exploring and see and do things that the body isn't seen and doing. Okay, well, that's not so. We're not a body with a consciousness that lives inside. The body is virtual. There is no body. We have a virtual body. We have a virtual brain. It's all just information. Remember, this is a digital simulation of this universe. This particular sun coalesced, that is our sun, and planets ended up going around it through a series of collisions and other events that took place. We have these planets going around, and then life began on this planet. However that happened is really irrelevant, but somehow life got started on this planet, and then it evolved. And one of the critters that evolved eventually was humans. And humans evolved. Now, this is all in the simulation. We're just talking about the simulation. In this simulation, humans evolved. Humans had brains. Brains allowed them to do certain things. So now we see that this virtual reality that's the result of the big digital bang basically defines the constraints on what it is that we can do. Okay, we are consciousness. We're in a virtual reality game like World of Warcraft, and the set has been evolved, and what we can do, what our players are allowed to do, the rules are what evolved it. So, you see, your body is just data. It's just a virtual body. It doesn't contain your consciousness. Consciousness is creating this whole set. So reality is not body-centered. It's not mass and space-centered. That's a belief of objective reality. Consciousness is not a product of the brain. The body and brain are virtual. Okay, they're just information constrained by the rule set within this physical matter reality simulation. Okay, we are consciousness. Why would an experience of consciousness, whether it's wide awake, dreaming, or out of body, be dependent upon a virtual body that is itself a product of consciousness? See, that doesn't make any sense. So we're consciousness to begin with. You don't have to get out of your body. You just have to get in to your consciousness. Your consciousness is already, in the larger consciousness system. You don't have to get into it. That's where you live. You're already in the larger consciousness system as a unit of consciousness. The body is irrelevant. And unfortunately, that makes it difficult for a lot of people to get into their consciousnesses. They think they have to go through the body. So they're lying there wanting to experience an out-of-body, and they're trying to roll out, like Bob Monroe said he did. And they're trying, they're shrugging their shoulders, trying to roll out. They're trying to sit up. They're trying to lift their non-physical hand and look at it. And they're trying to do all these things that are body-focused, and the body's totally and completely irrelevant. Now, why is it that Bob said he rolled out of the body? Because that was his metaphor for getting out. Now, in his mind, Bob didn't realize that was just a metaphor. He imagined that he was escaping from his body because he had that same beginning belief that most other people have, that they're a body and then they have to get out of the body. The body's primary. So it's just not important to out of body. It's not important to remote viewing. See, remote viewers don't have to get out of their body, do they? They just go get information. They don't have to leave their body. Well, you don't have to get out of your body to do anything in the larger reality frame. The out-of-body phenomena, the out-of-body experience is very poorly named. Unfortunately, it's a name for exploring the larger reality of consciousness, and has nothing to do with a body. All right?